What if your dream life isn't something you create, but something you remember? Imagine there's a version of you who is already free, already whole, already living the life your current self has only glimpsed in daydreams and desires. Now here's the twist. Science may finally be catching up to this idea, not as philosophy, but as physics. This isn't manifestation hype. This is quantum mechanics. In this video, you'll uncover why your thoughts don't just shape your life. They might already be communicating across time, space, and identity with the version of you that's already arrived. So sit back, take a breath, because what you're about to learn won't just change how you think. It'll change the signal you're broadcasting, and that changes everything. Part 1. Quantum entanglement and the mirror of self. The invisible thread between who you are and who you're becoming. You and the version of yourself you're trying to become. You're not separate. You're not even distant. You're already connected in ways the human eye can't see, but the quantum field has always known. Science meets spirit. Let's talk about entanglement, not metaphorically, but literally. In the early 20th century, Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. He couldn't accept that one particle could instantly affect another, even if it was on the other side of the universe. But experiment after experiment kept proving it. Eventually, even the skeptics had to surrender. This wasn't theory anymore. It was fact. When two particles are entangled, they don't just influence each other. They mirror each other. Change the spin of one, and the other flips instantaneously, regardless of distance, interference, or even time. Distance is irrelevant. Obstacles don't matter. Time doesn't break the bond. Pause and let that sink in. What if consciousness works the same way? The consciousness connection. Let's break the fourth wall here. You're not here by accident. You click this video because some part of you already knows there's more. That the rules of classical living, the grind, the chase, the cause and effect logic, are missing something fundamental. That something is this. Your current self is entangled with your future self. Not the ideal you're still building. The one that's already complete, already whole, already living in ease, confidence, abundance. Quantum entanglement doesn't care how much work you've done. It doesn't care about your job title, your goals, your social media presence. It responds to one thing: connection, the bond, the resonance, the thread, the mirror principle. Now imagine this. Your ideal future self, the one who's healed, aligned, fulfilled, isn't waiting for you in the future. They're already here, already broadcasting, already entangled with you. So when you feel glimpses of that version, a sudden clarity in meditation, a rush of calm in the middle of chaos, a dream that felt more real than real life, a deep "I know this" when you hear certain words. That's not imagination. That's the entanglement speaking. It's your mirror showing you what you already are, beneath the programming, beneath the trauma, beneath the noise. The field doesn't lie. Quantum physics doesn't make room for fantasy. It's measured, repeatable, unbiased. So why does entanglement matter to you? Because if it's possible for two subatomic particles to be so connected that they respond to each other instantly, even across the galaxy, then the distance between where you are now and who you want to be might not be a gap. It might be a frequency. And the only thing stopping that frequency from becoming real is coherence. We'll talk more about coherence in part 3. But for now, understand this. The field responds to truth. And truth isn't a thought. It's a signal. Your job isn't to fake your way into transformation. It's to remember who you already are and let that version broadcast louder. Real life signs of entanglement. Let's bring it down to earth. Ever had any of these happen? You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and they text you that afternoon. You randomly switch plans and avoid a major accident. You hear words in a podcast or song that feel like they were written just for you. You meet someone and know instantly you've known them before. These aren't coincidences. They're echoes of connection, quantum resonance, field alignment. When you start observing your life through the lens of entanglement, everything becomes meaningful. Patterns emerge. The ordinary becomes sacred. because suddenly you're no longer looking for signs. You're recognizing reflections. The inner shift. Here's where it gets even more powerful. You don't need to travel the world. You don't need another course. You don't even need to be ready. You just need to allow the mirror to work. And that begins with inner stillness. Stillness isn't silence. Stillness is signal clarity. Imagine your body as an antenna, your heart as the transmitter, and your thoughts as the static that needs tuning. When you quiet your mind and align your breath, you're not doing nothing. You're becoming visible to the field. That's when the thread between you and your higher self pulls tight. That's when transformation stops being an idea and starts becoming a felt experience. From science to embodiment. Let's connect dots between the science and the spiritual. Entanglement is a known phenomenon in the quantum realm. Embodiment is how it expresses in the human experience. One is physics, the other is presence. The field doesn't just respond to your thoughts, it reads your coherence. Are your emotions aligned with your thoughts? Is your nervous system signaling safety or danger? Are your actions mirroring your intentions? If they are, the field takes notice. If they aren't, the field mirrors the chaos. The shift from confusion to clarity isn't external. It's electromagnetic. A simple exercise. Remembering the you that's already arrived. Let's get practical. Close your eyes, right now. Take a deep breath. Now. Imagine the version of you that has already made it. They've healed. They've grown. They're not perfect, but they're free. Watch them. How do they breathe? How do they walk? What's their rhythm? Their energy? Their quiet? Now ask yourself, what if I'm not moving toward that version? What if I'm already entangled with them and just need to align my state to match theirs? That's not a metaphor. That's quantum truth. You're not inventing this version. You're collapsing into it. The real takeaway. If everything we've explored so far could be distilled into one statement, it's this. Entanglement isn't a theory. It's your operating system. You've always been connected. You just forgot. And the forgetting wasn't failure. It was part of the experience of remembering, more powerful because it feels like rediscovery. The version of you that you long for is already responding to your inner alignment. And each time you slow down, each time you breathe, each time you choose coherence over chaos, you don't move closer to that version. You become them, not by striving, but by synchronizing. The real takeaway. If everything we've explored so far could be distilled into one statement, it's this. Entanglement isn't a theory, it's your operating system. You've always been connected, you just forgot. And the forgetting wasn't failure. It was part of the experience of remembering, more powerful because it feels like rediscovery. The version of you that you long for is already responding to your inner alignment. And each time you slow down, each time you breathe, each time you choose coherence over chaos, you don't move closer to that version, you become them, not by striving, but by synchronizing. So here's what to do today, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Stop trying to reach your dream self. Start listening for their signal. And when you feel that gentle pull in your chest, when your breath slows without effort, when your mind quiets without trying, know this. That's not emptiness. That's entanglement. That's you stepping into the invisible thread, the mirror of self that's been waiting to reflect you home. You are not a being moving toward wholeness. You are wholeness, momentarily pretending to be on a journey. Part 2. Retrocausality and the illusion of time. What if your future could change your past? What if the future wasn't something waiting for you, but something reaching back, rewriting everything you thought was permanent? The linear illusion. We've all been taught the same story. Time flows forward, past leads to present builds the future. Cause, then effect. Action, then outcome. Step 1, then step 2. But quantum mechanics whispers a different story. And it doesn't whisper, it shouts. In the world of the very small, time is not a one-way street. In fact, under the microscope of quantum law, time begins to look like a suggestion, not a rule. Welcome to the phenomenon of retrocausality. What is retrocausality? In quantum physics, Retrocausality describes something that seems impossible. An event in the present appears to affect something that already happened in the past. Let's say that again. The future impacts the past. It's not a thought experiment. It's not philosophy. It's been tested. Here's how it works. Scientists set up an experiment involving particles that are entangled. They delay the decision of how to measure one of the particles until after its entangled partner has already been recorded. And yet, based on how they later measure one particle, the earlier results of its partner seem to change. Reality is not following a straight line anymore. It's acting like a loop, a feedback system, a dance between what was and what could still be. How this changes your story. Let's bring this home. If quantum law applies to reality, and increasingly it looks like it does, then your past is not set in stone. Your past is tunable. Every memory, every trauma, every belief system built from what happened to you may not be the full truth. Why? Because who you are now, your frequency, your coherence, your emotional state, can reach back and begin to rewrite how those events are structured in your nervous system. This is more than healing. It's recoding, and it happens the moment you stop trying to escape your past and begin witnessing it from your future. The past is a wave, not a wall. Quantum mechanics reveals something beautiful. Particles don't exist as solid objects until they're observed. They exist as probabilities, as waves, as possibility fields. Guess what? So does your past. Your memories aren't stored like files in a cabinet. They're reconstructions, created each time you recall them, shaped by your current emotional frequency. Change the signal you're emitting, and you change the way your memory is reassembled. That painful breakup, that childhood moment that taught you you're not enough, that failure that convinced you to play small, those aren't fossils. They're fluid, and if your consciousness changes, those memories do too. Mind-bending exercise, meeting your past from the future. Let's pause for an experience. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Now visualize a younger version of yourself at a moment of pain, fear, or uncertainty. Don't fix anything, just witness. Now step into the version of you that already overcame it, the version living in confidence, peace, abundance, the future you that already healed. Let them speak to your younger self, not with words, but with presence, with calm, with stability, with coherence. What happens when that signal reaches backward? Watch the younger you soften. Watch the nervous system unlock. Watch the memory reshape itself, not by denial, but by energetic invitation. That's not imagination. That's retrocausal coherence, and it can rewire your life. The brain doesn't know it's now. Here's a stunning truth. Your brain cannot distinguish between an event that actually happened and one vividly imagined with emotional intensity. Neuroscience confirms it. Your body responds to imagined stress the same way it does to real stress. But the reverse is also true. Imagine peace clearly enough, and your body begins to embody peace as if it's real. So what happens when you vividly imagine your future self? The neurons fire, the hormones shift, the biology rewrites, and now the field is listening. You've just collapsed a different version of yourself, not from trying harder, but from transmitting better. Time is a field, not a line. Let's leave the clock behind for a moment. What if time isn't a string of beads, but a vibrational field? In this model, the past and future are not separate locations. They're frequencies, each carrying information, each waiting for alignment. So when you raise your frequency, you're not going forward. You're tuning sideways into a version of you where peace is natural. Abundance is assumed. Love is baseline. And the echoes ripple both ways, forward and back. Every time you embody the frequency of your highest self, you're not just shaping your future. You're soothing your past. The child in you feels it. The teen in you feels it. The version of you who wanted to give up last year feels it. Because time in the quantum model is listening to your coherence. Why you feel stuck. Ever wonder why no matter how hard you try, something doesn't shift? You meditate, you journal, you visualize, but the past keeps whispering, you're not ready. You're still broken. You've failed before. That isn't you. That's the loop. A loop created when your current self keeps reacting to a past that's still waiting to be reprogrammed. But here's the escape hatch. You don't escape the loop by fighting it. You disentangle from it by bringing in a stronger frequency, a clearer signal, a version of you who already stepped out of survival. The loop only exists in incoherence. It ends the moment you stabilize a new pattern. Real-time reprogramming technique. Let's go deeper. Here's a technique you can use right now. Step 1. Identify a pattern from the past. A story you keep telling yourself. I always sabotage. I can't be trusted. It never works out. Step 2. Pause and breathe. Observe it without judgment. Not as truth, but as a frequency pattern. Step 3. Visualize your future self. The version of you for whom this isn't even a question. Watch how they move, speak, decide. Step 4. Inhabit their body. Breathe like them, think like them, speak like them, right now. Step 5. While holding that state, revisit the past. Let that new frequency touch the old story. Watch how it collapses, because when the signal stabilizes, the past updates itself. Everything is information. In the quantum world, matter is just energy holding a shape. Energy is vibration. Vibration is information. So guess what that makes your past? Information. It's not who you are, it's who you were broadcasting as. Change the broadcast and the field returns a new response. Not just in the now, but in the record. This is why people say, it's like that old pain doesn't even feel like mine anymore. That memory feels neutral now. I remember it, but it doesn't control me. Because the pattern, the signal, was rewritten, not through effort, but through alignment. So here's what to do with this understanding. Stop fighting your past. Start relating to it differently. Every time you embody your future self, you are retrocausally healing. Every time you breathe as the aligned you are editing the memory of your nervous system. Every time you feel safe now, you're dissolving the fear that once shaped you. This is quantum healing. This is time as partnership, not prison. Your future isn't ahead of you, it's inside you, reaching backward with an invitation. All it asks is that you listen. All it needs is your coherence. All it waits for is you. Part 3. Coherence. The missing link in manifestation. Why your dreams aren't coming true yet. Manifestation doesn't fail because the universe isn't listening. It fails because your signal is scrambled. You're not being punished, you're being matched. The big myth. Just think positive. For years, we've been sold a simple formula. Think good thoughts, speak your goals. Wait for the universe to deliver. But if it were that simple, every vision board would be a passport to paradise. So why isn't it working? Because the universe, the quantum field, doesn't respond to your words. It doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to your signal. And your signal is only as clear as your coherence. What is coherence, really? Coherence means internal consistency, a single unified signal. No distortion, no contradiction. Imagine your brain as one transmitter, your heart as another, your gut as a third. If all three are broadcasting different things, the signal becomes fragmented. But when they align, when your thoughts, emotions, and physical body broadcast the same frequency, the field responds immediately. That's coherence. And in the language of the quantum field, coherence equals clarity. When thoughts say yes, but body says no, let's say you affirm every morning, I am abundant, but deep down you still feel like money is unsafe. You tense up every time you spend. Your stomach knots at the idea of being seen or successful. Guess what? Your body just overruled your words. Because in coherence, the loudest part always wins. Your biology broadcasts 24/7, and the field listens more to your nervous system than to your mouth. This is why some people say affirmations and get results, and others don't. It's not about the words, it's about the alignment behind them. The heart, your most powerful transmitter. Science confirms it. Your heart's electromagnetic field is 60 times stronger than your brain's. It can be measured feet beyond your body, and it carries emotional data. When your heart and brain are synchronized, they produce something called heart-brain coherence, a signal so clear it cuts through chaos like a beacon. And that signal isn't just internal, it affects everything around you. Studies show your coherent state can entrain others. Your peace can shift a room. Your regulation can calm a child, soothe a partner, change an outcome. In a world of noise, coherence is power. Why most manifestation fails? Let's get brutally honest. Most people aren't manifesting. They're pretending to manifest while broadcasting contradiction. Visualizing success while fearing judgment, declaring love while distrusting intimacy, speaking wealth while vibrating scarcity. And the quantum field? It's not judging you. It's just reflecting you accurately, precisely, consistently. It's not personal. It's mechanical. The law isn't, you get what you want. It's, you get what you are consistently signaling, the coherence checklist. Here's a quick audit. Do your thoughts align with your emotions? Saying, I believe while feeling doubt? That's noise. Do your emotions align with your actions? Feeling excited but still procrastinating out of fear? That's resistance. Do your actions align with your body? Taking bold steps but feeling unsafe in your nervous system? That's self-sabotage waiting to happen. True coherence happens when what you think, what you feel, and what you do all move in the same direction. Only then does the field say, got it. Let's collapse that version into reality. Coherence creates collapse. In quantum physics, when a particle is unobserved, it exists as a wave, a field of all possibilities. But the moment it's observed, the wave collapses into a single state. That's what coherence does to your life. It turns possibility into experience, vibration into manifestation, desire into form. The stronger your coherence, the faster the collapse. That's why things happen suddenly for some people, because they became undeniable to the field, not louder, clearer. Real-world evidence. Let's get tangible. HeartMath Institute has studied coherence for decades. They found that coherence boosts immune response, increases intuition, and problem-solving, regulates cortisol and emotional reactivity, creates measurable shifts in energy fields around the body. This isn't woo. This is waveform biology. This is physics in your bloodstream. You aren't just thinking your reality. You're emitting it. A simple coherence practice. Let's make this real right now. Step 1. Breathe into the heart, close your eyes. Inhale slowly into your chest. Exhale gently. Let your breath guide your awareness to your heart. Step 2. Feel a regulating emotion. Gratitude, love, safety, trust, even if just 1%. Let it bloom. Step 3. Hold that state while visualizing your desired reality. See it, feel it, not with need, but with familiarity, as if it's already real. This is coherence. Your signal just became stronger. The field just took notice. The truth most teachers won't say, you've been told you're not manifesting because you're not clear enough, you're not consistent, you don't want it badly enough. But here's the real truth. You're not manifesting because your signal isn't stable. You shift frequencies 10 times a day. Excited, fearful, hopeful, doubtful, trusting, anxious. And each time, the field responds. You're not broken. You're just scrambling the signal. It's not about doing more. It's about being more coherent. Coherence is the bridge. The version of you who already has what you desire, they're not better. They're just broadcasting differently. When you match their signal, your frequency, emotions, and actions, the field doesn't delay, it delivers. So ask yourself, am I thinking like that version? Am I feeling like them? Am I walking like them? Because if not, start there. Coherence is an effort, it's access, and your future self is waiting for you to stabilize into the signal they've been sending all along. Part 4. Reprogramming the signal of self. You're not broken. You're just broadcasting an old frequency. You're not stuck because you're doing something wrong. You're stuck because your system is still running an old signal. One you didn't choose, but one you now have the power to change. What you're really manifesting. Let's get honest. Most people don't manifest what they want. They manifest what they've been programmed to expect. You say you want freedom, but your nervous system still equates freedom with danger. You speak of love, but your cells are still guarding against betrayal. You visualize wealth, but your subconscious links it to loss, shame, or unworthiness. This isn't self-sabotage, it's signal memory. It's your body and brain replaying the only song they've known. The good news? It's not permanent, but it won't change with affirmations alone. You are a signal, not a slogan. Let's make something clear. You are not your goals. You are not your affirmations. You are not your journaling practice. You are a 24/7 electromagnetic broadcaster. Every belief you carry, every emotion you've stored, every experience you've survived has shaped the signal you're emitting right now. And the quantum field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what your field is actually vibrating. So the question is no longer, why hasn't it shown up yet? The question becomes, what am I broadcasting that keeps blocking it? The programming behind the signal. Here's what most don't understand. Your conscious mind only controls about 5% of your life. The rest, your habits, reactions, fears, desires, they're driven by your subconscious programming. Where did that programming come from? Childhood conditioning, cultural expectations, family wounds, unspoken beliefs, repetitive experiences. You didn't choose this code, but it's shaping your reality nonetheless. Imagine a computer running software from 1995, trying to operate in 2025. That's your nervous system when you don't upgrade your internal signal. When identity and desire are in conflict, let's break down a pattern you've probably felt. You desire love, you attract chaos, you want success, you procrastinate and shrink, you crave freedom, you stay in what's familiar even when it hurts. This isn't about laziness, it's about identity conflict. Part of you desires change. Another part fears what that change represents. And in the quantum field, conflicted signals equals scrambled manifestations. You can't manifest from a split identity. You must first reprogram the observer. Observer vs. program. Here's where it gets powerful. There are two versions of you running at the same time. One, the program, the patterns you've inherited, memorized, repeated. Two, the observer, the part of you that can witness, choose, rewrite. The program is automated. The observer is conscious, and the observer is your only access point to true transformation. But most people stay trapped in the program, trying to change reality with the same frequency that created it. To shift your life, you don't need more force. You need more observer. How to spot the old signal. Here's how to identify your outdated frequency. 1. Notice patterns that repeat same relationships, different names, same setbacks, new contexts. 2. Listen to your body's reactions, tension, resistance, numbness, suppression, panic, unresolved trauma. 3. Track what you say versus what you feel. Saying I'm ready while trembling inside, the field hears the tremble. 4. Watch your energy, not just behavior. Are your actions aligned with trust or driven by fear? These are your breadcrumbs. They'll lead you straight to the signal you're broadcasting. Reprogramming in real time. Reprogramming isn't a single event. It's a practice of broadcasting a new frequency long enough for it to take root. Here's how. 1. Identify the outdated identity. I'm not safe to be seen. I have to struggle to succeed. No one stays. 2. Meet it with compassion, not shame. This program was created to protect you. It served a purpose. 3. Visualize the new signal. What does safety feel like? What does support look like? What does ease move like? 4. Embody the new identity in micro moments. Not in fantasy, in daily reality. Speak slower. Breathe deeper. Say no when needed. Rest without guilt. Each micro shift tells the field, this is my new baseline. In the field, it matches baselines, not breakthroughs. Nervous system and frequency memory. You've probably tried visualizing a better life, only to feel nothing. Here's why. Your nervous system may still associate your dreams with danger. Success equals being seen, equals being judged. Love equals vulnerability, equals betrayal. Money equals freedom, equals abandonment. So when you try to manifest those things, your subconscious shuts the door. That's not failure. That's survival. Until you teach your body that the new frequency is safe, it will block it every time. This is why reprogramming is nervous system work. It's breath work. It's sensation work. It's safety work. Micro actions that retune your signal. Ready to start now? Here are a few micro actions that carry major reprogramming power. Sit still for 2 minutes without fixing anything. Say no and breathe through the guilt. Rest when your old self says you haven't earned it. Ask, what part of me still doesn't feel safe receiving this? You're not doing these things to get a result. You're doing them to broadcast a new truth. And when the signal shifts, the field has to respond. Not eventually, immediately. Because the field doesn't operate on time. It operates on coherence and consistency. You are the broadcast. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not failing. You're simply quantum connected to a version of reality shaped by an old story. But that story is not who you are. It's just who you used to broadcast as. The moment you choose differently, consistently, clearly, compassionately, everything changes. Because the universe is not waiting to reward your effort. It's waiting to mirror your signal. And now that you know how to shift it, the field is listening. Part 5. Becoming the frequency that collapses reality. You don't attract what you want. You collapse what you are. You are not a magnet trying to pull something in. You are a frequency collapsing a version of reality that already exists. The question is no longer, how do I get there? It's, can I become the version of me that already lives there? A new paradigm of creation. We've spent generations trying to manifest our future like it's a prize behind a curtain. Do more. Think harder. Speak louder. Work, grind, repeat. But the quantum model gives us something radically different. It tells us that every possible version of you already exists. Not someday. Now abundant you. Peaceful you. Healed, confident, deeply fulfilled you. All of them exist as wave functions, probability clouds in the quantum field. Your job isn't to chase them. Your job is to collapse one into your lived reality by matching its frequency. Frequency is identity. What does frequency actually mean? It's not just a vibe. It's not surface positivity. Frequency equals identity in motion. It's the sum total of your beliefs, your emotional baseline, your physical responses, your thoughts, your actions, your nervous system's regulation. When all of these form a consistent broadcast, you don't attract your ideal life. You begin to merge with the version of you already living it. The quantum field doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to energetic integrity. Why acting as if often fails? You've heard this before. Just act as if. Fake it till you make it. Step into your future self. But here's the truth. Most people aren't acting from coherence. They're acting from lack. They visualize their dream life while still carrying the nervous system of a survivor. They say affirmations while their heart is still bracing for disappointment. They take bold actions, but from fear, not embodiment. This isn't becoming the frequency. This is masking the old one. And in the quantum field, that distortion creates interference. Your results become erratic, unstable, delayed, or don't show up at all. The frequency formula. So how do you actually become the frequency? Here's a 3-part formula that aligns with both quantum mechanics and neurobiology. 1. Clarity of identity. Define the version of you who already has the life you desire. Who are they? How do they think? What do they no longer tolerate? What is effortless for them? 2. Emotional resonance. Can you feel what it's like to be them before your reality reflects it? Not once, not for 5 minutes in meditation, but as a baseline. 3. Behavioral alignment. Are your choices reinforcing that identity? Are you embodying that self in how you speak, move, rest, say no, invest energy? If not, it's not judgment, it's feedback. And feedback is the field's greatest gift. Collapse isn't dramatic, it's subtle. Here's what most people get wrong. They expect quantum leaps to feel like fireworks, life-shaking, Instagrammable, headline-worthy. But real shifts, they arrive in silence. One day you wake up and the anxiety's gone. The self-doubt doesn't speak as loudly. Your decisions feel cleaner. You walk differently. You breathe deeper. No trumpet, no spotlight, just coherence stabilizing. And in that quiet recalibration, a version of reality, once inaccessible, suddenly becomes normal. The quantum wave collapses not in noise, but in precision. Your nervous system, the access point. You can't collapse a reality your body doesn't feel safe receiving. That's the missing link for so many seekers. They want to embody wealth, love, purpose, but their nervous system still associates those things with pain, loss, or danger. So what happens? The moment their desire gets close, they push it away, create chaos, sabotage it unconsciously, freeze, overthink, and retract. Why? Because you collapse the reality you feel safe enough to hold. Not the one you crave, but the one your biology can stabilize. This is why becoming the frequency also means retraining your nervous system to receive without defense. A practice, collapsing into your future self. Let's walk through a process slowly. Step 1, still the body sit, breathe. Feel into your physical form. Let the tension go. Let the mind settle. Step 2, meet your future self, not in fantasy, in memory. Because if all versions exist now, this is a memory from the future. See them, feel them, observe their calm, their ease, their clarity. Step 3, let them merge. Let that version step into you, or better yet, let yourself fall into them. Match their breath, match their posture, match their internal silence. Don't try to pretend, just receive. Step 4, walk differently. When you finish this video, don't go back to the old you. Stand up, speak, move, decide, from the frequency of the one who has already arrived. Do this repeatedly, and you won't have to make it happen. You'll just notice. It's already here. What happens next, after you begin broadcasting a coherent new frequency? Life starts to shift. People respond to you differently. Opportunities arrive without force. Old problems dissolve, not from solving, but from vibrational irrelevance. You'll look back on certain things and say, that used to trigger me. Now it doesn't even register. I used to hustle for this. Now it shows up without me chasing. This isn't magic, it's mechanics. It's the quantum field responding to a new broadcaster. And that broadcaster is you, a new definition of manifestation. Forget attraction, forget hoping, forget waiting. Here's the new model. I am not waiting for my dream life. I am stabilizing the frequency that makes it inevitable. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to chase it. You don't even have to deserve it. You only have to resonate with it, clearly enough, long enough, sincerely enough. When you do, the wave collapses and the dream becomes your day-to-day. Who are you broadcasting as right now? So ask yourself, who am I being when no one's watching? What emotion is my body normalizing? What story is my energy reinforcing? Because the quantum field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are. And right now, in this breath, in this moment, you are either amplifying the frequency of your past or stabilizing the signal of your arrival. It's not about deserving. It's not about waiting. It's about becoming. So become the signal, become the pattern, become the future. And reality, it will have no choice but to meet you there.